I'm in Liverpool for the Champions League. Liverpool versus Bayern Munich, but I'm also in Liverpool in solidarity with the great people of this city, and in particular in the constituency of Liverpool Wavertree, who have been on the receiving end of the most calumnious and libelous, defamatory abuse. It's been pure slander, and now they are vindicated. It was being alleged until just 48 hours ago that this constituency was somehow bullying its member of parliament, and it turns out that its member of parliament was all the time plotting for at least the last 12 months and probably more to betray the Labour Party, to betray the Labour Party members here, but most importantly to betray the Labour voters here, because she's now sitting in Parliament under false pretences. She was elected here under Jeremy Corbyn's leadership, under the Labour manifesto of 2017, under Labour's programme, which she now disavows in its entirety. She says the leader is a racist anti-Semite. She says the programme is unaffordable and is misleading people. She has turned her back on everything that she told the voters here in Liverpool Wavertree just in 2017. But she doesn't intend to resign and hold a by-election so that the voters here can decide whether they would prefer to be a Labour constituency rather than a Luciana Berger constituency. And the reason that she's not doing that is obvious. She knows that she would be defeated in a landslide defeat. So when the media tells us that these are principled people, these seven dwarves that have broken away from Labour over the last 48 hours, when the media tells us that these people have wrestled with their conscience, don't believe a word of it. If these people had any principles, they would each and every one of them now be resigning from Parliament and causing a by-election in their seven constituencies so the people could decide whether they back the MP or whether they back the party that the MP claimed to believe in just as recently as the general election of 2017. Now, there are particular circumstances here. Luciana Berger is no great MP, no great achievement. She was parachuted into this constituency based on her friendship, close friendship, a sort of Diane Abbott, Jeremy Corbyn close friendship with Tony Blair's son, Ewan. Well, she knew nothing about Liverpool. She had never heard of Bill Shankly. She didn't know the name of the River Mersey, and she'd never heard of Jerry and the Pacemakers. You'll never walk alone, Luciana. Well, she got parachuted in here, an ultra-safe Labour seat. I don't know if she ever learned who Bill Shankly was, but she hasn't been doing her duty around here. What she's been doing instead is calumnising the Labour Party and Jeremy Corbyn in particular, slandering him as an anti-Semite, when in fact, since before she was born, Jeremy Corbyn has been fighting anti-Semitism, fighting racism throughout the land and throughout the world. Her problem with Corbyn is not that he's anti-Semitic, which of course no sane person would credibly claim him to be, but that he supports the Palestinian people. He opposes Netanyahu. He opposes the crimes of Israel. That's what she means when she says that Jeremy Corbyn is anti-Semitic. And by extension, when her constituency grew tired of her constant plotting, undermining, backstabbing Jeremy Corbyn and the Labour leadership as a whole, when they became tired of it, they were then accused of being anti-Semitic, even though the chair of the constituency, Labour Party, is himself Jewish. And now he's on the receiving end of the same kind of slander which Corbyn has had to put up with since 2015. So, as I was in the city of Liverpool, I thought I'd come here. And believe it or not, there are quite a few members of the Labour Party here at the clock tower. So I'm going to just let them speak for themselves. Comrades all. Very good to see you. I've just been talking about what's happened here. Leave aside all other matters. It's surely unarguable that having been elected as a Labour MP, the people here thinking she was to be a Labour MP, now that she's left the Labour Party, betrayed it, I would say, stabbed it in the back publicly at the press conference in which she chaired the departure of the independent group. The very least she should do is put herself back up for re-election here, don't you think?
Oh yeah, but to be honest, as you say, when people vote for Labour, they vote for the party, not the person. So, Luciana, I think she got 35,000 votes, really good. But it's the Labour Party. These days, of course, it's only general party. And we believe that most people in Liverpool and support the Labour Party precisely because of Corbyn's policies, because of the opposite of what Tory does. Corbyn is a socialist. They want to get rid of policy, and they can do it. About £150 billion worth of taxes on collectivity. That can do a lot of good. That was a big difference in value. So that's where the money should come from, to cure many. But don't you've got people in what justice is. We're the class of it, you won't get lotteries. You cannot roll, we're the kinds of, that's what that's telling you. It's just a nonsense way. It's an attack on our class. And I believe that Jeremy Corbyn Labour government, it shows that like a group. Yeah, I think most people think that. And that's why this is now from Seattle, can't go along with it. It's fine. We're all individuals, we all got the right to choose, and I respect the Seattle's right to choose on that one. But I think it would be the honest and honourable thing to do to call a by-election.
Yeah, I mean, if they had the courage of their convictions, they'd want to do that, wouldn't they? They'd want to get the public's endorsement for the charge that Corbyn is an anti-Semite, that Labour's economic policies don't add up and are in fact in cloud cuckoo land and all the other insults issued yesterday by the Seven Dwarfs. They say that Labour's got the wrong policy on Brexit, the wrong policy on foreign policy towards NATO and so on. Well, if they believe that, why are they scared of putting themselves back up?
Everybody's got a right to opinion, and if they believe that's the right thing to do, they've got the perfect right to do so. But that's going to debate it. You debate it. You don't just use the corporate media to get over, I would say, lies. There are a lot of lies being told, especially regarding anti-Semitism. The differences with Luciana and a lot of the people who support Labour, it's political, not religious. Nobody gives a monkey's, I think, or most of us, certainly the right-thinking people, we don't let religion or skin colour come in the way. But we're all the same, most of us should be the same, regardless of those issues. But political differences, everyone's got the right to their own opinion, provided you do it in a proper way. And you're right, if those people believe that they've got something to say and they're in public support, let them call a public meeting. Let's have the debate, and let's see what kind of support they get.
Wouldn't it be fair to say that Liverpool is the least racist city in the whole country? I believe that.
Well, some people would argue differently, but I know people from various parts of the northwest, when they come to Liverpool, they remark and say everybody just mixes in together. And I say, well, yeah, we're a multicultural city. Most of us like it being a multicultural city. It's more interesting, and we're generally accommodating and friendly people. And yet, whenever the right wing, let's not call them the right wing, fascists, try to march in the city,
they can hardly get out of the station.
They've been chased out the city. That's when they do get out the station.
Now, we've got the King David High School there, the chair of Wavertree CLP. You went to King David. The chair of the CLP is Jewish. Your candidate, your MP, 3 times, I think she was elected, is Jewish. That doesn't seem like evidence of anti-Semitism.
Well, I've made the point is on the executive in the Labour Party, nobody even knows what religion anybody else has. It's never discussed. It's a non-issue. People's religious beliefs, it's a non-issue. We discuss politics today.
Well, are you going to be pushing for a by-election, or are you just going to let her sit there?
Well, no, I mean, hopefully, the public opinion and decency will show our former MP that she needs to call a by-election if she wants to have some credibility for her new party, and let the Labour Party people in this area select a candidate which they think will represent their views. That's democracy.
Been great meeting you. All the best. Let me see if there's anyone else wants to have a word.
Excuse me, sir. See those cars?
I was talking to one of your colleagues there. It's my kids. But all 7 of these, I call them the 7 dwarves. I don't know where Snow White is.
I've called them the Sayonara 7.
Yeah. All 7 of them have a democratic responsibility and duty now to put themselves up for re-election.
Absolutely.
Because the people here thought they were voting Labour.
When I vote for Labour, I don't vote for the individual, I vote for the party, I vote for the policies. I was very pleased to vote for the manifesto 2 years ago. That's not all the support. So I'm furious with what's happened with slaves, got yesterday. And the first thing they should do if they have any honour, any criticism whatsoever, they should call the by-election. Let us show how much people support us.
The local Labour Party here was calumnised in the media over the last few weeks. You were accused of bullying a pregnant woman, a woman almost giving birth. There was a call for a motion of no confidence, and Harriet Harman, no less, said that this was an outrage, this woman being as in such an advanced stage of pregnancy. It was completely wrong for you to do that. And now it turns out that pregnant or not, advanced or not, she was all the while planning to stab Jeremy Corbyn and the Labour Party in the back, and she actually chaired the whole thing.
Well, you know, I mean, if she is so heavily pregnant, I believe she is, I haven't seen her. Surely should she not take maternity leave? She's been on the television, she's been in the newspapers, she seems to be working incredibly hard at leaving the Labour Party. So, I'm afraid,
Well, I think a lot of people feel that from Chuka Umunna downwards, let's call him the leader, he certainly calls himself the leader, that their purpose is actually to wreck Labour's chances of forming a government, and therefore to keep the Tories in power. And I'm old enough to remember when that was Roy Jenkins and co, when that was their point. They would have liked to have succeeded, but they did succeed in as much as they kept Labour out of power for more than a decade.
The thing that's upset me the most about this is I noticed recently, in fact, on Facebook, Owen Jones, the columnist for The Guardian, he's actually said that these people are going to target Labour, Tory marginals. For what other reason but to sabotage Labour? So that's an absolute joke, and that's the thing that upset me the most about this whole.
So she's going to sit for the next 3 years in a Labour seat, and then go and look for a Labour-Tory marginal to fight in, so as to stop Labour winning those marginals.
Well, that's what they're saying. But
That's how honourable they are.
that's what they're saying, but I'm not sure about this 3 years, George. It does seem to be a lot of instability around at the moment. I think there could be a general election at any time. In fact, I have to confess, I'm not from Wavertree, I'm from South Manchester. I've been canvassing very recently for the Labour Party over there. We're gearing up, not just for the local elections, but for any time when the general election will be called. So we're ready, we're going to be out there and we're going to fight for it. We're fighting for the Labour Party. We're not people that leave like that. We genuinely, rank and file, stay in. They fight for socialism. That's why.
Pleasure to meet you.
A lot of people.
Nice to meet you. Thanks.
Nice meeting you, George.
Hello, madam. Oh, you're a Labour supporter, aren't you? Yeah, I can tell. Now look, what we're talking about here is the need for a by-election. Because she is entitled to her point of view, but she's not entitled to sit on a 35,000 Labour vote that voted Labour not 2 years ago, while she's knocking 7 shades out of Labour, telling everyone Labour is the worst thing in the country.
Convictions and she believes that her policies are going to be popular.
Why don't you think she will do that? Or rather, do you think she'll do it?
No, she won't do it. She get absolutely smashed and she's on 75,000, 80,000 a year. And I'm sure she doesn't know that's not.
You see, we were told when there was a proposed vote of no confidence against her, that Harriet Harman said that this was unconscionable bullying of a heavily pregnant woman. But all the while she was planning to chair the launch of a breakaway party.
Yes, and Tom Watson said that the Wavertree local party were bullying and were anti-Semites, and all they wanted to do was to get her to get behind Corbyn and get behind the Labour government. And they think that's right, because clearly she was very much against Corbyn, against getting a Labour government. And I hope they get an apology.
Well, yeah, they're due an apology from Tom Watson, who did actually call them anti-Semites, even though the chair of the constituency is himself
Jewish. Dr. Alex Scott Samuel is a very well respected activist in Liverpool, very well known.
I know the press are rubbishing him.
Yes, of course, and it's so unfair. He's a disabled activist and he's retired. It's just
A retired, disabled academic who is Jewish being called an anti-Semite.
Yes, he's the most gentle, thoughtful. He's been really helpful here in Wavertree, the women's hospital. He's led the way to keep the women's hospital open because they wanted to move it, make it smaller, put it in town. And that's not great for the women of Wavertree and Liverpool. And he has led the way on that because it's public health is his expertise. So he's a very valuable person.
Now,
Luciana isn't.
well, look, the truth is, what they are calling, and what the media are calling, what they're calling anti-Semitism is in fact opposition to Israel, opposition to Netanyahu, opposition to what's happening every Friday at the Gaza thing. It's not anti-Semitism.
There are 3 or 4 teenagers killed every Friday, unarmed, on the March of Return, simply for protesting against Israel. They're shot by snipers on their own land, and you will never hear, well, a lot of Labour MPs don't say anything about it, particularly these Labour friends of Israel, like Luciana Berger, you'll never hear anything against it.
Well, she's no longer in the Labour Friends of Israel, but I'm sure she's still a friend of Israel.
Yes.
Look, very nice to talk to you. Thank you
You too.
very much. Anyone else? Anyone else? What point of view? No? You, madam? No? You want to say something? Yeah. Look, we're nice books, I really like them. Dr. Martins. It's my case that whatever you think of Luciana, whatever you think of her views, she's got a right to have them, but she's not got the right to pretend to be representing Liverpool Wavertree in Parliament, because Liverpool Wavertree thought she was a Labour MP.
That's why we voted for it. We didn't vote for Luciana Berger. We voted for the Labour MP. This is a socialist city, probably the most socialist city in the country. We expect a socialist person to represent us. And we don't have that. I don't remember coming round to our doorstep and I made some comments and were like, we need a kind of anti-Thatcher figure leading the party, and she just looked mortified and really embarrassed and sort of stalked away. And that just spoke volumes to me. Like, she couldn't get away from me thinking, what if you don't leave that? You know.
Well, she hates Corbyn. She hated Corbyn from the beginning. All this talk about, anti-Semitism and all, this has all been used to damage Corbyn doesn't have a racist fibre he's the opposite of someone who would hold such prejudices. And he's spent his whole life, which has been a long one, fighting against racism and anti-Semitism, injustice of all kinds. What they were really using that to damage them. Do you think they have damaged them? I mean, what do you think around here? Do you think people around here think that she might be right and that Labour is led by someone who's anti-Semitic?
I think most people around here are pretty switched on. We can see clearer. People have an opinion. I don't think she's really going to alter anyone's opinion around here. If you liked him before, you'll still like him. If you didn't, you still don't.
And you might look for reasons.
I don't think she's that influential. You know, I know there's been a lot of nastiness on her part towards, you know, Jewish people in the party. I know that's just nonsense.
Well, this is the chair of local constituency, a distinguished academic, Jewish gentleman, highest reputation, ends up in the Mail on Sunday being trashed as an anti-Semite.
You couldn't make it look good. Obviously, you have to make it look good. It's just so easy to do. People have a bit of a screw. You've got to be really thick to believe it.
Yeah. Well, you've got to be thick to believe it. You've got to be thick to believe it, and you've got to be wicked to say it. You can do it.
And this is why, in one of the last parties, she doesn't represent us. She's never represented us. She's represented herself. She's not about Jews. And you know, she's clearly been on the boxes for so long.
Well, she was parachuted in here. As I said before, she didn't know who Bill Shankly was. She didn't know the name of the river running through the city. She'd never heard of Jerry and the Pacemakers or You'll Never Walk Alone. No, she had. I don't know if she did learn it in the time that she spent here, but she was loyally supported by the members here at election times and by the voters here. She was 3 times elected here. So to now claim that the people here are against her because of her religion, it's a foul lie, it's a slander. Yeah. Jeremy Corbyn put the vote up, as he put the vote up of all 7.
And this is how she's
Well, I'm not sure. Anyone else here like to say a few words? I'm just talking with local people here in Wavertree, trying to make the case that what we need here is a by-election. Indeed, all 7 of these MPs that have abandoned the Labour Party should be now resigning their seats and putting themselves in front of the electors for a new mandate.
I'm amazed that's not the case, George. I'm amazed that they've got a choice.
Exactly, it should be the law. It should be the law.
I see by-elections on the news and concerns past or some case that's happened and a by-election is called. I had no idea that an elected MP, an elected member of the party for a particular constituency was asked to leave their party in a block into place with the voters who voted for them and say, I'm no longer representing that party, but I'm remaining your MP. Now that's bizarre. Lucian's shield against anything that anyone's ever said against them is I do this for my constituents, I do that for my constituents, my battle is for my constituents. And now, I'm one of their constituents, I have to imagine a by-election, I think it's a farce.
We should be able to recall MPs, don't you think? 100%. I mean, if you got 35,000 votes because you were Jeremy Corbyn's candidate, and you then decide that Jeremy Corbyn is practically the devil, and you want nothing to do with it, well, surely the voters have got a right to a say on that.
And I'm assuming that every one of those 7 have got bigger margins in the last general election.
Every one of them.
On the back of the manifesto that Jeff Corbyn's put out, on the back of the Socialist manifesto, each and every one of those 7, Luciana included, have got a much bigger majority now with the white people voted for them. They wanted to
I'll make a prediction to you now. There is absolutely no chance that she will stand in this constituency. She'll look for a Tory, Labour, marginal seat. So you will never get the chance to vote her out. But she's going to sit and take wages for the next 3 years if she can. Wages and all the rest. And whilst claiming to speak for you with absolutely no right to it.
For me now, as a Wavertree constituent, we're sort of, we've got no life, we're sort of, in that sense, we're in a bit
You're not represented in
we're
Parliament,
not represented at all. And to say that when you've just said that out loud, 3 years, that's an awful long time for a massive constituency like Wavertree to not be represented.
Well, as a Huyton man, Harold Wilson once said, a week's a long time in politics. So if you imagine 3 years. Well, I wish you all the best. Many thanks. Not at all. So, you've heard it from the constituents here in Wavertree. People are angry that they are now unrepresented in Parliament, that someone is sitting in Parliament as an imposter, sitting in Parliament claiming to be the MP for this area when they were elected as Jeremy Corbyn Labour candidates not even 2 years ago, and so more than 3 years will now elapse before the people here get a chance to elect an MP that is genuinely representative of them. Anyway, it's Champions League tonight. Liverpool versus Bayern Munich. And so, I'll say good night for now.